Good morning, students. Let's start with next topic of this unit. So we are studying fourth unit of CS2, peripheral devices. In the last lecture, we have studied different output devices. See, in the last lecture, we have studied different output devices where we have studied monitors, CRT, flat panel displays, printer, types of printers, impact printer and non-impact printer, line printers, character printers that comes under impact printer, and then non-impact printers where we have two categories: laser printers, inkjet printers, and the next output device was projector. So that was all about the output devices. So in this unit we have studied different input output devices. Now we have to move to the next part of this unit. So the next part of this unit is drive. So now we have to deal with the memory or the memory related things, that how we can store the data in a computer. As we are studying the different peripheral devices, and in the last lectures we have studied that how we can provide input to the computer and how we can get output from the computer. Now the next thing is we have to study how we can store the data in a computer and what are different medias available to store the data, what is the drawback of every media, how the every media works. So in this topic we have to study related to the storage media. So let's start with this topic, that is drive. What is drive? Drive is a location or a medium which is capable of storing and reading information that is not easily removed like a disk. All the drives, so all of you must know that why we use drive to store the data. So all the drives store files and programs used by your computer. For example, when you write a letter in a word processor, the program is loaded from the hard drive. When you save the document, it's saved to the hard drive, or we can also save it to another disk or another drive. So basically we use drive to store the data. Next is floppy disk. It is a type of disk that we used in earlier days to store the data. So in this we have to study what is floppy disk, how it works. So what is floppy disk? Floppy disk is a type of storage media capable of storing electronic data like a computer file. So floppy disk is also one of the storage media that we use to store the files. Floppy disk was first created in 1967 by IBM as an alternative to buying hard drives, which were extremely expensive at that time. So in the earlier days, hard disk was very expensive to buy. So to reduce the cost, what user can do, user has started making use of these type of disks to reduce the cost. So floppy disk was one of the media that was used in the earlier days. So it was one of the first type of hardware storage that could read, write a portable device. Floppy disks are used for reading or writing on removable floppy disk. It means we can also read and write the data on the floppy disk. Now look at this diagram. This is how the floppy disk looks. So this is an example of a 3.5-inch floppy disk. This picture shown is an example of 3.5 floppy disk, one of the most commonly used floppy disk, which is capable of storing 1.44 MB of data. So this type of disk can store only 1.44 MB of data. To read and write to this disk, it would be inserted into a floppy drive. So whenever we have to perform any operation on the floppy disk, we have to insert it into the floppy drive. Next is, early computers did not have CD-ROM drivers or USB. So this is the reason floppy disks were used. So floppy disks were the only way to install a new program onto a computer or back up your information. So students, in the earlier days, floppy disk was used to store the data, to back up the files, to back up your information, and whereas it is also required at the time of the installation of new programs. So floppy disks were also a common place for users to store and back up their files. Nowadays, we do not make use of floppy disk. Why we do not make use of floppy disk? Because nowadays we have many other options which operates at a very fast rate and which have very less cost as compared to floppy disk. This is the reason floppy disks are now obsolete. So floppy disks are now outdated. So now we do not make use of floppy disks, they are outdated and they have been replaced by other storage devices such as USB, CD-ROMs or CDs and zip drives. So we all make use of these things to store the data. So that was all about floppy disk. Now we have to study the next disk drive, that is hard disk drive. What is hard disk drive? Hard disk drive is an electromechanical storage device which is an abbreviation of hard disk drive. It uses magnetic storage for storing and retrieving the digital data. So this is the concept that it makes use of. It makes use of magnetic storage media to store and to retrieve the data. It is a non-volatile storage device. Non-volatile means data resides permanently. So hard disk drive is installed internally in our computer system. So we can install it internally in the computer, which is connected directly to the disk controllers of the motherboard. See students, we have already studied motherboard and disk controller. Motherboard is the board where there is a connection of all the circuits and which has the capacity to operate different parts of the computer. Disk controller is required to control the disk operation. So hard disk is connected to the disk controller of the motherboard. It means the working of disk controller is to control the different operations of the disk. So hard disk is directly connected to the disk controller. So hard disk drive is a storage device which stores the operating system. It means your operating system is stored on the hard disk. All the installed softwares and other computer files also stored on the hard disk. So hard disk is the very important part of the computer. Now look at the diagram. This is an example of a hard disk. Hard disk means that data is retained when our computer system is shut down. Hard disk is also called a fixed disk, hard disk, or we also call it as hard drive. The hard disk was introduced in the year 1956 by IBM. So this is the diagram of hard disk and how it operates. Here the area is divided into tracks and tracks are divided into sectors. So you can see this is how it counts the head movements and disk rotates on the hard disk. Now what are the advantages of hard disk? So one of the very significant advantage of a hard disk drive is that its cost is low. This is very cost efficient. Another advantage of hard disk is it is readily available in the market. You can easily buy it from the market. Next is hard disk drives are faster than the optical drives. The capacity for storing the data in hard disk drives are large. So basically the main factors are its cost and its storage and its speed. So it supports large storage capacity, its cost is less and it offers a very high speed. Now that was all about hard disk. Now let's move to next category of storage media, CD-ROM. So what is CD and CD-ROM? So CD-ROM is abbreviation of compact disk. CD stands for compact disk, whereas ROM stands for read-only memory. So this is a type of compact disk read-only memory in the computer in the form of compact disk that is read by the optical means. So CD-ROM drive uses a low power laser beam. Look at this diagram. This is an example of a CD and the CD-ROM. So CD-ROM drive uses a low power laser beam to read the digitized data that has been encoded in the form of tiny bits on an optical disc. Look at this. This is a CD and this is a CD-ROM. So the working of CD-ROM is how the CD-ROM reads the data from the CD. It makes use of a laser beam to read the data from the CD. The drive then feeds the data to a computer for processing. So that was all about different types of medias that we use for storage. Let's move to next topic of this unit, multimedia. Now what is multimedia? Multimedia is a representation of information in an attractive and interactive manner. Interactive manner means how the user responds. So it represents information in attractive and interactive manner with the use of a combination of text, audio, video, graphics and animation. So here I want to discuss one real life example of multimedia system. As we make use of WhatsApp for video calling and for voice calling, this is a real life example of interactive manner and which is the application of multimedia. In other words, we can say that multimedia is a computerized method of presenting information. So it provides us way that how we can present the computerized information with the combination of data, text, audio, video, visual aids, graphics and animation. So it is just we can do this with the advent of multimedia. So for examples, email, Yahoo Messenger, video conferencing, these all are just because of multimedia. So I hope it is clear to you what is multimedia. Nowadays the phones that we use, they fully support multimedia. Next is sound card. What is sound card? Most of your music collection is probably in digital format, either on CDs or as files on your computer. So in order to be able to listen to your music, a sound card converts digital data to analog sound waves that you can hear. So basically its working is it converts the digital data to analog data so that you can hear. The output signal is then connected to a headphone or a set of speaker. You can make use of headphone and speaker according to your choice. So you can also use a sound card to record audio with a microphone. Uses of the sound cards. Typical uses of sound cards or sound card functionally include providing the audio component for multimedia applications such as music composition, addition of audio and video, how we can edit audios and videos, presentations, entertainments, games and video projections. And sound cards are most commonly used over teleconferencing. Next is modem. Last topic of this unit is modem. What is modem? Modem is a device which performs the task of modulation as well as demodulation. What is modulation? Modulation means it converts the digital signals to analog signals, or it is a process of conversion of digital signals to analog signals, whereas demodulation is the inverse of modulation. Demodulation is a process of converting analog signals to digital signals. So the combination of both is known as modem. So modem is a device which performs modulation as well as demodulation. So with this, students, we have finished this unit number 4 of CS2. And the name of this unit was peripherals, where we have studied different peripheral devices. In this unit, we have studied input-output devices in detail, various input devices that we use to give the input to the computer, various output devices that we use to get output from the computer, different types of drives that we use to store the data, and then some topics like multimedia, sound card and modem. So with this, students, we have finished the 4th unit of CS2 as well as we have finished the syllabus of CS2. So I just want to give you brief intro about all the units of CS2. So students, in CS2, in your syllabus, in 11th standard syllabus of CS2, you have total 4 units. The name of these units are electronic components, logic gates and sequential circuits, functional hardware part of a PC, and the fourth unit is peripheral devices. So we have completed all the 4 units of CS2. In the electronic components, we have studied regarding different electronic components that we use for the designing of different hardware parts of CS2, where we have studied transistors and what is capacitors. All these things comes under electronic components. In the second unit, we have studied about the logic gates and the circuits of CS2, that what are the circuits that we use to take input from the user and to provide output. So in the logic gates, we have studied different categories of gates, where we have studied AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, and different categories of gates. In the third unit is functional hardware part of a PC. In this unit, we have studied about the specification of a PC. What are the features that specify a particular PC? So in this unit, we have studied different hardware parts and software parts and all the PC specifications. In the fourth unit, the name of fourth unit is peripheral devices. In this unit, we have studied all the peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means input-output devices. So we have studied different categories of input devices, output devices that we use, and with this, students, we have completed all the 4 units of CS2. So that's all for today. Thank you.